Greetings and welcome, ladies and gents. I'm the Super Gamer, and one of my favorite games of all time is Banjo-Kazooie for the Nintendo 64.
We all know how amazing Banjo-Kazooie was, and that Rare was at the top of their game in the 90s with games like Star Force Gemini, GoldenEye 007, Donkey Kong 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Diddy Kong Racing, Perfect Dark, and of course, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Sadly though, in 2002, Rare was unfortunately purchased by Microsoft to develop games for their new console, the Xbox, and the result of that is some terrible games, which had people give up hope of Rare making games like they used to in the good old days. But then suddenly, out of the shadows, a company known as Playtonic Games released a Kickstarter for Yooka-Laylee, the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. Long story short, people went nuts! Not to mention that the project reached its funding goal within 38 minutes and raked up over $2.7 million. People were excited. But then again, another series tried to do the same exact thing. The creator of the Mega Man series, KJ Inafune, tried to bring back the franchise with Mighty No. 9, which failed in pretty much every way possible. So, will this be a repeat of Mighty No. 9, or will this actually be something special? Without further ado, this is Yooka-Laylee. Deep within Hivory Towers, the villainous and diabolical Capital B and Dr. Quack are hatching a plan to steal all the books in the world and use it to make tons of money. Meanwhile, on a nearby shipwreck, we see a chameleon named Yooka and a bat named Laylee relaxing in the sun, when all of a sudden, Laylee's special golden book that she found is sucked out of her grasp and into Hivory Towers, with all the pages flying out of it. As it turns out, this golden book, if all the pages are inside it, can have the power to rewrite history. So it's up to Yooka and Laylee to enter Hivory Towers, find all the pages, and put an end to Capital B and Dr. Quack's evil plans. The graphics of Yooka-Laylee are basically what Banjo-Kazooie would look like if it was given an HD upgrade. In other words, it looks fantastic! All the character models look great, the environments are gorgeous to look at, and the music. Oh my gosh, the music, it's freaking amazing! This is the kind of music that gets stuck in your head as you keep playing it. Definitely better than Breath of the Wild's music, I must say. My favorite tracks are probably Hivory Towers, Tribal Stack Tropics, Capital Casino, and the jingle that plays whenever you collect a pagey. One of the many complaints that I've heard about this game is that the voices from the characters are very annoying. Now, for those of you who don't know, the voices in Banjo-Kazooie and Yooka-Laylee are all just grunts and random noises with speech bubbles to tell you what they are saying. Personally, if you ask me, these voices bring some of the magic into these kinds of games. And no, it's not because I grew up with Banjo-Kazooie and that the game is clouding my judgment. I've come back to games in my childhood before and realized they weren't as good as I thought they were. Point is, Yooka-Laylee does have problems, but the voices are not one of them. This game's genre is one we haven't seen in quite some time, the 3D platforming collectathon. These games revolve around collecting a bunch of collectibles to progress through the game. They are also the best games for completionists, seeing how these games keep track of what you have found and what you have left to find. However, the last time we saw a 3D collectathon was probably 16 years ago with Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy on PS2, so the genre has all but died at this point. Because of this, the reviews of this game were pretty mixed. Some loved it, some hated it, and some were in between. But if for some reason my opinion matters to you, then Yooka-Laylee is one of my favorite indie games of all time. Let's start from the beginning. The main collectible you'll want to collect are pages. These can be found from completing a task, finding a certain amount of collectibles, solving a puzzle, or it can just be found out in the open. You'll need these pages if you want to progress through the game. There are also quills to collect. These are used as currency for new moves you can purchase from Trouser the Snake, a shady dealer who could give you new moves for a certain amount of quills. With these moves, you can do things like roll, ground pound, shoot sonar rings, get projectiles to shoot at enemies and switches, walk underwater, and use your tongue as a hook shot. And some of these moves you can only purchase late in the game, so you can't 100% complete every world on your first visit. Nope, you'll have to come back later, buddy. And most of your moves are powered by a power bar, which decreases every time you use one of your moves. Don't worry, you can refill this power bar by collecting butterflies scattered throughout the world to replenish it. And if you need to replenish your health instead, use your tongue instead to collect them, and it will recover 1 health point. And if you need more health or more power, there are extenders in every world to give you extra of both. Let's talk about the rest of the collectibles. There are 5 Ghost Riders in every world, and they all require different strategies to collect. The red one attacks you if you try to collect him. The blue one stays hidden until you reveal it with your sonar move. The green one dodges you as you try to collect them, so you better be quick. The pink one requires you to feed it something before being collected, and the other one just wants to be collected, so he does absolutely nothing. There's also a play coin in which you bring Directstro, a blocky dinosaur from 1997 who wants you to play his arcade games. These minigames are probably my least favorite part of this whole game, but at least they're fun and challenging. And lastly, the Mollycool, which you can take to Dr. Puzz, who can turn you into another thing entirely. She could turn you into a plant, a snowplow, a group of piranhas,
Get to the chopper!
and a boat sailing the stars. And when you add all that up, there's 200 quills, 25 pages, 5 Ghost Riders, a health extender, a power extender, a play coin, and a Mollycool in every single world. There are 5 worlds in the entire game. Do the math. Not to mention that the worlds can be upgraded, making them huge. The worlds include Triple Stack Tropics, Glitter Glaze Glacier, Moody Maze Marsh, Capital Casino, and Galleon Galaxy. Let's finally talk about the bosses. They may not seem like much at first glance, but trust me, they're all fun and very challenging. My favorite boss is the Capital Casino boss, simply named Inept. He is a security guard with poor hearing and bad eyesight. It's the Kinect! And we all know how amazing the Kinect was.
Moving around at the speed of cramp. Did I make that? I did. I somehow made that. I don't know how I did, but I did.
And that was Yooka-Laylee, and overall, it's a great example of how Rare made games in the 90s and a great game in general. With this game and the upcoming A Hat in Time, I think it's safe to say that 3D Collectathons will be making a comeback. Should I do a review on A Hat in Time? Let me know in the comments below.
Until then, I'm the Super Gamer, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!